Bosh, we're back. Squeeze the Neck podcast with my new mate, Bobby. What's happening, mate?
Good, man. How are you?
Appreciate you doing this. I'm very good, thank you, mate.
Thanks for having me.
So, no, thank you for doing this because you are, as we talk, we're a couple of days out from the fight, man. So
3 days.
3 days from the fight. So we'll try and get this out tonight. So this is live. So we're actually 3 days from the fight. If not, and it's 2 days, it's Saturday. The date is the 4th, right?
Yes.
4th of October, Saturday. Undefeated as a pro, undefeated before that as an amateur.
Correct.
All-round bad mother, you know what. So, boom, GB top team. Anything else we've got to shout out, we'll get to as we go. But, mate, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are for anyone who's not familiar.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, I'm Bobby Chikavhu. Barbaric Bobby Chikavhu, with my nickname in there. So the initials are BBC. So that's why my Instagram handle is actually BBC The Fighter.
Very good.
But I think there are a lot of people that don't know my nickname.
Okay.
So they think I'm called BBC for other reasons. Which
Trying to kiss up to the TV channel.
Which is funny.
Get a new TV deal, yeah.
Oh, no, not even that BBC. But
Yeah, I know. I tried to gloss over it.
I leave it that way. I want them to think that.
Yeah, I tried to keep it a family show. Never mind.
No. But I guess they're going to know now.
Yep.
But yeah. So that's my name. Obviously, I'm representing this wonderful gym. I joined in January.
Oh, so you're quite fresh in the game. It's not that fresh now. It's a while, isn't it? How many fights have you had under this banner?
Only one.
Okay.
Only one.
Pro fight, obviously.
Yeah.
Because
it went well, obviously.
Nice. Yeah, still undefeated. It sounds pretty good.
There was a lot of pressure in that fight because, I just left gyms and I knew, people are going to be watching. They're going to be like, oh, let's see how he does.
Right.
If he loses his first fight in his new gym, everyone's going to be like, oh, he made the wrong move.
Right.
He should have stayed where he was. But just happy to get that out of the way.
Yeah. Where was you before? Can you talk about that, or is it?
No. I was at London Shoot Fighters.
Okay. Shout out London Shoot Fighters. I've been up there for a few podcasts.
Oh yeah.
Great guys up there.
No, very good gym.
Yep.
Very good people. Got some very good training for years there. I learned quite a lot of stuff. Built my character there. They made me the fighter that I am today, essentially. But obviously after a while, it was time to move on. And
that happens as well. I think people miss that, don't they? It's not like a gym's bad or you don't fit the gym or something like that. Sometimes you just need to freshen up, don't you? Sometimes you just need a change, and that's how it goes.
Need a change of environment. Of course, again, great coaches, very good level. I mean, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be at this level I'm at right now, anyways. Yep. So of course, I'm very grateful for the years and the training there. But yeah, it just got to a point where, it was very difficult to get fights.
Right.
And then I just wasn't enjoying training the same way anymore. So, and then I had a friend of mine who had left from there to come to this gym, and then he was just telling me how everything here is different.
We talk about Alfie, are we?
Huh?
Is this Alfie we're talking about?
Oh no, another
friend. Okay, cool.
Friend even. But yeah, and then Alfie as well. So I had a very close friend who's here now, who trains with us. He left the gym. He wasn't happy. He wasn't getting fights, and it was just stressing him. So he changed. He came here, and then he was just showing me how everything here is different. The way you're treated is different. The people are just really cool. You've got a lot more freedom. You can just, be yourself. The coaches trust you a little bit more to just be you. And I was just like, wow, I need this, because I was going through a similar issue at my old gym. I was training hard, getting good sparring, sure, but I just felt like something needs to change a little bit. I just wasn't enjoying training.
At the end of the day, it's a short career, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You're only young for a certain period of time. You've got to do what's... And again, like I said before, I don't think it's always one's better than the other. It's just sometimes what's right for you, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Because I was up there recently. I was up there last week, actually. It'll be that episode that I'm talking about will come out after this, just because you've got a fight coming, so we're bumping it out fast. But I was up there with Magic Norbert.
Norbert.
Great guy. He's been on twice, actually. I've been there both times with him, and he's a great character. And he's we was talking about hard training and people with different gyms and whatever. I'm butchering it a little bit, but he's born for it there. Do you know what I mean? He needs that, and that's what he wants. And
he fits in perfect.
He fits in perfect, is what he was saying. Yeah, I've been up there. I trained a little bit at London Shoot Fighters, the old one back in the day, random classes here and there.
Oh, okay.
When I was sort of, because not to make it about me. But not to make it about me. But I was boxing at the time, so I was sort of dabbling with martial arts and whatnot, and having a few classes here and there. It's quite far from me, so I didn't train there regular, but I used to drop in and out, and I always had good experiences, hard training and whatnot. And I'm talking 10 years ago plus. Do you know what I mean?
I wasn't even training.
You wasn't even training. No. How old are you?
Right, I'm 27.
Oh yeah, so still young man. Yeah.
17. I didn't even consider martial arts 10 years ago.
Really?
That's crazy, yeah.
So we spoke briefly off camera. You were from Zimbabwe originally. When did you come to the UK?
I came here in 2012, so I would have been 14.
14, okay. Yeah. So young man, it's a hard age, isn't it, to be moving like that?
Yeah, it was. Always had to adjust. I could speak English just fine, but just had to adjust, had to kind of pick up the accent a little bit.
Get used to the weather.
Yeah. Oh, the weather. I remember canking, I can't wait to see snow. I can't wait. And then when I see it, I was like, yeah, no.
Once you've seen it once, you're set on snow, yeah?
It's cold as well. I've never felt anything so cold.
Yeah.
Then the weather here is crazy.
Yeah.
Because it gets cold there in winter, sure, but it's nothing.
Does it? It does get cold.
Yeah, but it's nothing like this.
Right.
Nothing like this. Like, I didn't even know frostbite was a thing until I came here.
You got it. Yeah.
Literally, I was like, what?
And what was you doing growing up in terms of sports and stuff? Not martial arts?
I played football.
Right.
That was my number one sport from 8.
Okay.
And I actually believed I could be a professional footballer.
Was you good or was it delusion?
I was good, but you gotta be a certain level to be a pro.
Especially in football, right?
Yeah. I wasn't there. Let's put it that way.
Right.
I was good. I was better than your average Joe.
I got you.
If we're playing pick-up football, whatever, I'd be picked up first or second or whatever kind of. I had skills. I had a couple things I was good at, but it was a bit of a stretch.
But it's funny with football, isn't it? Like when I was playing football growing up, I played with some players that you looked at and you go, he's good, he's really good, he's amazing, but they've never made it anywhere. The level is so crazy.
Yeah, like in school, you had this one guy who's just better than everyone. He's like levels. And then now they just, I don't know, selling drugs on the street.
You know what I'm saying? Can't make it. Because I think the thing is with football as well is fighting's a bit different into obviously to get to the top level is ridiculously hard because of the nature of the sport. But at the same time, there ain't that many people by comparison that play.
The funnel isn't as
And sorry, not play. You don't play fighting, obviously, but you know what I'm saying. The people that are into fighting and want to take it serious and actually want to fight. And we're not talking about just training. We're talking about actually
fighting. They end up kind of making it.
Well, because if you're that determined, because there's not as many people. You think how many people play football worldwide?
How many people want to get punched in the face first?
That's what I'm getting at, right? So it's a completely different comparison, isn't it?
Competition.
Yeah. And when did you get into martial arts then? When you come to England, I take it.
Yeah. So in Zimbabwe, never did a single martial art.
Right.
Just played football. That was
Is MMA a thing in Zimbabwe?
I mean,
it wasn't at the time anyway, right? Back in the day.
I wouldn't say so. I mean, I think it's kind of growing now a little bit. Like people kind of starting to pick it up a little bit. Like we have athletes from Zimbabwe, but I don't think they train in Zimbabwe.
I gotcha.
They're on the facilities and stuff like that. They train in South Africa,
right?
And some of them may be here.
It's the next country from South Africa, right? Share a border, Zimbabwe.
Literally, yeah. You can literally drive to South Africa. So a lot of Zimbabwean athletes train in South Africa.
Okay.
Because the MMA scene there is actually very good. I don't know if you've heard of EFC.
Yeah, of course.
Extreme Fighting.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's a very good show. I actually tried to get on there a few times
did you?
from here.
Right.
But it just didn't materialize. But it's still an option. I can still get a fight in the near future. But so it's not a thing in Zimbabwe, but there are Zimbabwean athletes abroad, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. It's not they're not training and living in Zimbabwe. Yes, there's my guy over there, Yam Power. Shout out Yam Power. Come in. Jump on the pod. I'm chasing this man to get him on the podcast, so he might as well make an appearance now and he show his face. So I got it on camera, so now he's got to come on. If he don't, I'm after him.
It's got to Bobby. I know you're trying to jump in your car. This is
Great
Bobby.
to see you, my man. Good to see you. Yeah, all good, man. All good. I'll be with you soon, right? On Friday.
We will be in.
We'll be in. We'll be on it. We'll be doing it. It's on camera. He can't pull out now. I got him. Captured you. Nice one, mate. Top man. But so from Zimbabwe, as well, put it in context. 2012, MMA globally weren't as big as it is now anyway, right? MMA
even
here,
the UK was.
No, that's what I'm saying. At that point, I was boxing, and MMA was still at that thing of when people go, "What are you doing that for?" Do you know what I mean? Why do people do that nonsense?
Stuff.
All that silliness, in a cage and all that. But obviously, that's massively changed now. 2012 was probably a good point in terms of the year when things started to change. I think that's when we started having more regular UFCs in the UK and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think
somewhere there.
Brad Pickett was
Dan Hardy, those guys, Bisping.
Right, I think I saw Brad fight at the O2, would have been about 2014, somewhere around there. Do you know what I mean? So same sort of timeline, it started to suddenly, and it seemed like it picked up quick. And obviously McGregor's not from the UK, but around that time was big
he was
too.
in Cage Warriors.
Right, and then he came, I remember that show actually, side note, on that show that Brad was on. It was the Gustafsson Jimmy Manuwa fight. And McGregor was not walked past me, but walked sort of 5 rows in front of me. and it was no big deal. You know, people were sort of like, I think that's that Conor McGregor guy. Oh, that's cool. Like, no big deal.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it was before he
really
really got massive and people would have swarmed him. But anyway, so like coming to the UK, you're 14 and you started training MMA when?
18, 19.
Oh, right, so
like
fairly
just
late.
before I turned 19. Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Where did you come to in London originally to start with?
The area I lived in is North London. It was called Friern Barnet, like near North Finchley.
Okay, yeah.
So I lived there, went to school there even, and then I moved to Tottenham afterwards.
I didn't hear that.
Hey, look, rough area. Builds character, innit?
Yeah.
But yeah, I lived there for a few months, not even that long. And then I came to Edgware, where I still live now.
Right,
in
okay.
North London. Yeah.
Right. And I'm assuming you came over with your family, right? At this point, you're still young.
Yeah.
So just was this just a relocation? You knew you was coming here to stay. It wasn't like
Yeah. Basically, my mom was already here.
Okay.
And then the rest of us just followed, basically.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool because back in, I say back in them days, it's not like we're talking about the 1950s, is it? But like, I feel like things have moved pretty fast from then in terms of like that's sort of the golden age of like when social media started and all kinds of things. So people were more connected, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And it was easy, not easier necessarily, but more accessible to sort of like find gyms like such as this and London Shoot and whatever to go to. So when you come, like, when was the decision you made to start martial arts and what brought you to that?
That's the thing. Like it was an accident. Really.
How was it?
I think.
And sorry to step in there. Was you playing football over here? Did you come over and carry on?
Yeah, carried on playing football. Still wanted to chase that dream of being a professional. And then I think I was about 18, and then I was like, you know what? I think this football thing's not gonna work out.
What level were you playing at here?
Probably just like Sunday League.
Oh,
like,
you
no
okay?
more
Right.
than that. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what?
And you're like, any day now, Chelsea's gonna call.
Yeah, I was like,
any day.
yeah, I was like, you know what? This football thing's not gonna work out. Like, but what will I do? And then round about the same time, just by sheer coincidence, I was seeing videos on YouTube of MMA, of like UFC and stuff like that. And because I was a WWE fan, like pretty much my whole childhood.
Oh, yeah.
So there was this guy, Brock Lesnar, right?
Of course.
Big,
The
strong
Brock
guy,
Lesnar,
scary guy, WWE. And then I find out he actually did some sport where they fight for real. I was like, come on, he obviously killed everyone, right? I was like, fuck, there were guys better than him. I was like, what is this sport? Who are these people? And then I saw there was like weight classes. So someone even as small as I am can compete in that sport. You just have to train like a lot, basically. And then I saw Conor McGregor. Just started watching videos, just watching Conor McGregor, watching his trash talk.
So you wasn't even a fan beforehand?
No, I just got introduced basically by Brock Lesnar to Conor McGregor, and I was like, wow, this boy's cool. And you can do it, I guess. Like, what's stopping me from doing it? Like, I want to be an athlete. The football thing's not working out. Maybe this is it.
That's cool,
And then
man.
I just made that decision. You know what? Goodbye football. I'm gonna try this MMA thing.
Oh, and what's family saying? The family like, come on, man, what are you up to?
No, 100%. They were not on board with it in the
Come
beginning.
on, bro.
Like,
Yeah.
I remember my mom was always like, no, you should go to university. You should go to university. You know, this.
What was you doing
stuff.
with your life at this point? Are you just working normal jobs and stuff?
Yeah, just looking for jobs.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to just be doing this forever.
Right.
Got to do something like that'll make me money in the future, even if it takes a while, and something that I actually enjoy. And then I started training, did a bit of Jiu Jitsu, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like, if I was training before I even went to like a official like gym, I would watch videos, and then with my brother in the yard, we would just
Beat your brother up.
Yeah, literally, like just fucking just box each other.
How many brothers you got?
I've got one brother.
Are you quite close in age?
Yeah.
So did you grow up beating each other up anyway?
Basically,
Right,
yeah.
that's what I'm
we
getting
both,
at,
like,
yeah.
we both watched WWE together anyways, and we
Right.
would like just play on the bed and just do moves and
Choke
stuff like
slamming
that.
each other, yeah.
Literally. The pillow was the steel chair, just boom.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Are you similar in size as well?
He was always because I was older.
Yeah.
I was a bit taller, obviously,
Right.
but then he started to overtake.
Oh, now he's got to get a double
bigger.
beating.
Yeah.
Now he's got to get an extra beating for being taller. How dare he?
Yeah, now he's a lot bigger than me now.
Yeah. Is he a
yeah.
fighter?
No.
So
He's
you're saying
trained
you
here and
can
then.
beat his ass? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if you ask him, he'll probably tell you the same thing. But no, like he's done a bit of training
right.
here and then for fun, but it's not his thing, kind
Yeah.
of, I guess. But yeah, so then literally, like I was just training with him, just fooling around in the yard, just doing boxing. wrestling in the park, literally, like just doing jiu-jitsu in the park. People are probably watching like, what are these guys
what is going on,
rolling around on the floor in the park for? And then I actually saved up, started training at a proper place, just did jiu-jitsu for a few months, did a competition, did well, and then I went to London Shoot Fighters.
Where did you start before that? Where's the jiu-jitsu school?
The jiu-jitsu gym's called Mill Hill BJJ.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah. You know Daniel Strauss?
Of course, yeah, I was going to say, it's Daniel Strauss's place, right?
Yeah. He doesn't, I don't think he trains.
He's not there anymore, I don't think. I don't know him personally, but I know
he was the coach at the time. Very good coach. Big shout out to him.
Big shout out to Daniel Strauss. He's on Instagram and like grip training and all kinds, right?
Yeah.
Like, he does like
Raspberry Ape.
Raspberry Ape. But I think he does like, I think they're called the Dinny stones. Have you seen this in Scotland? There's like these famous stones that you have to hold and like lift
Probably
up.
Not, but I've seen him.
Yeah, he does all kinds of mad stuff like that. You know, so he does
yeah.
all kind of like almost like Viking looking training, isn't it? Do you know
He's
what I
a
mean?
commentator now on Cage Warriors.
Is he? Right, okay.
So that's cool.
Right.
Be cool to fight there. Just like, hey, Daniel Strauss, remember
What's up,
me?
Dan? Yeah.
Remember me?
What's up, coach?
That spazzy white belt.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So then, I started training there a few months. You know, just jiu-jitsu. It was no gi, really. And then went to Shoot Fighters.
With the eye of being an MMA fighter, was it? Or was it
Yeah, literally. I think I just went there because at the time I wanted to do full MMA straight away, but I was like, you know what, do something first.
Clever.
Have a little background.
Pretty clever, isn't it?
Something. Do jiu-jitsu first. You've never done a martial art ever. So dip your toes in first a little bit. Like, get comfortable with just
But I'll tell you what's interesting about that, and we'll come to that. I'll let you carry on telling me how you went through it. But I think it's good to have a base in something anyway.
Yeah.
Rather than just full MMA straight from the go. Because I think there's pros and cons, obviously, right? But we're coming to that later. But I'll let you tell your story, mate. I keep cutting you off, don't I?
No. Alright, so then I went to Shoot Fighters and just did everything. Just did striking, boxing, wrestling, carried on jiu-jitsu. And then at one point, I found that I preferred striking, even though I started with grappling. So I was thinking, man, I thought I was going to be more of a grappler, but no, this Muay Thai stuff is really cool. I think I want to be a striker now. And then sometimes I'll change back and forth, but you know what? I prefer grappling. Now I prefer striking. And then now today, I just like to balance it out.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a favorite area. It just depends on the opponent, I guess.
Good place to be.
Yeah.
Good place to be because listen, I think some people, maybe less nowadays, but certainly a few years ago, people used to like to pigeonhole themselves. They're an MMA fighter, but I'm a striker or I'm a grappler. Yeah. And I think ultimately there's pros and cons to that, obviously, but
there's more cons.
You're limiting yourself a little bit.
There's more cons than pros.
Right.
If you look at like, unless your striking is like Adesanya kind of, you shouldn't just be like, I'm a striker.
Yeah.
I know it's MMA, use everything. Take people down, like hold them against the cage, you have to just mix it up. And then your striking will be more effective anyways because you've got the threat of other stuff. But even Adesanya, if he runs into someone who's figured him out, like Short Strickland, now what's he going to do now? Because he hasn't got takedowns. Now he just has to deal with getting outstruck, basically.
Well, he's an interesting case as well, Adesanya, nowadays, because he's on a 3-fight losing streak, right?
Yeah.
Now, I wonder, and it'd be interesting to hear your opinion, whether you think, is he at a point in his career where he's slightly on the slide, or is it more that other people have figured him out?
I think
and I know they kind of go together, right?
It's probably both, but he's definitely slowed down, for sure. Like, how old is he now? He's probably like 36.
I think he's 36, 37, around that sort of age.
Slow down a bit, anyway. But yeah, I think also people have caught up a bit. I think people have studied him. Because when you're a champion as well, like, everyone's studying you.
People are looking at you, aren't they? Yeah.
So people have been studying him for years, because he was the champ for a long time. So he was taking out all these contenders, but the next person's getting smarter and smarter and smarter until eventually they figure out a way to beat him, which that's basically what happens to every champion.
Of course, if you stay around long enough, Khabib said it, didn't he? And he went out undefeated. Like,
Fair
if
enough.
you stay around long enough, you're going to get beat.
Fair enough.
Of course you are.
I think there's a good chance he would have got beat. I don't know who would have done it, but the thing with the sport is sometimes it's someone you don't expect.
Yeah. And also, at
no
a
one
certain
expected
point,
Strickland to do it.
No one expected Strickland to do it. But also, at a certain point, you're just not what you used to be, right? Whether it's
That
age,
as well,
injuries,
that as well,
desire, interest. I think that's a big thing that gets people too. Is because, listen, if you look after yourself and you're in your 30s, even into your late 30s, I think your body can be there. It's more like, I think you see it, and it's hard to describe, but you see people that sort of, their enthusiasm dwindling.
Yeah.
And then you become vulnerable, I think.
I think the biggest factor is obviously age, but also just you getting figured out, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And injuries got to come into play as well, haven't they? You know
That
what I
as
mean?
well, that
because
as well.
them niggles catch up on you, don't
And
they?
it's worse as you get older.
Of course, right. And it's more, and it's not even necessarily, it is an age, they go hand in hand, but it's not just an age thing. I think it's time doing it, right? Like if you've been, for example,
damage. As well.
If I kick that leg every day for 10 years, it ain't going to be as good as that one, is
Probably
it?
not,
Do you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I know that's a silly example, but it kind of makes sense in a
I think the biggest one is your chin as well.
Of course.
Like if you've been, even if you're not getting KO'd, just you being in fights, you sparring, having hard spars in camps and all that, like eventually, in a fight, you're going to get hurt with shots you would have taken well in the past. So there's that as well. Like people get chinny as well, even if you're young. If you've just had a lot of fights.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
But you're young and undefeated, so let's bring this back to a positive note. But like obviously, again, undefeated your amateur fights, turned pro, and you're still undefeated now. Was you good straight away, or was this quite a slow burn?
No, I think I was good straight away. Obviously, I did other combat sports, like I actually competed. So I did Jiu Jitsu competitions like a lot before I had my first amateur fight. And then as soon as I had my first amateur fight, like, I think I just found out, you know what, I'm quite good at this.
Right. Was it hard to get amateur fights? Because you hear that a lot. Like when you start being good amateur?
It was. I think after the first one, after my debut, it was pretty hard to get a second fight. And then after the second fight, I had 2 more fights, like relatively back to back. And then my pro debut was tricky.
Right.
Yeah, the pro debut was tricky. And then after my first pro fight, the next pro fight after that was tricky. And then after that fight, the third fight was tricky as well.
Just all tricky, bro. Every time there's a fight, it's tricky.
Yeah. But at least this time I have 2 fights booked.
I was going to say, you've got 2 pretty close together, right?
That's good. That's positive.
Yeah.
Hopefully the first one goes well, which, I mean, I expect it to anyways. Hopefully it goes well. No niggles, no bad injury, nothing. I get through that. Then, have the 4th fight. And then hopefully that goes well as well.
How much time have you got between the 2 fights?
4 weeks. Exactly.
4 weeks, all right. So you're sort of, how does that look like? I mean, you ain't got to give away secrets, but like, are you just sort of, is that like a sort of a recovery-ish week after the fight, if all goes well?
It depends. We'll see, of course. Like, obviously I wouldn't know now, but of course this fight, even with winning, I could have, a bit of injuries or aches or whatever.
Right.
Like, some bruises. It's possible, of course.
Yeah. How's that mentally? Is that quite hard to know you've got 2 fights coming, or do you like that?
No, I like it.
You
I
like it,
yeah, because it's been hard to get 1.
Right.
So if you get 2, thank God.
Yeah, I got you.
But of course, I want to do both fights. But at least, if for whatever reason, I mean, I know you've got 3 days left. If my opponent pulled out or something happened, it's not going to be as devastating because I've got a fight.
You got another one coming
already.
Right? Yeah.
And also, if I fight this fight, right, do well, whatever, and if for whatever reason I don't get the next fight, at least I fought. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, I fight both times. But let's at least, if we get 1, it's better than nothing.
Of course, right.
Yeah,
and then you still got a bit of time. You could get another one in before the end of the year, even.
Literally, that is the plan.
That's the plan.
That is the plan. Try to sneak one in for December.
Wow.
Preferably fight start because it's been a while since I fought in London.
Okay.
Because last one was in Portsmouth. This is in Portsmouth, and then I'm in Sunderland.
Oh, literally the other end of the country. Jesus Christ.
Like we just went past London.
Yeah.
Like I want to fight in London.
Yeah,
and fight start have a card in December on the 20th.
Okay,
in
where's
London.
That? Whereabouts?
O2.
O2 Indigo? Yeah, shout out. That's a good. That's always a good night out for fights. It's a good venue for fights, isn't it? But like, where you like fights close together, is weight an issue for you? Are you quite comfortable with the weight?
Again, I wouldn't mind if it's like 2 months or something, but when it's like 4, 5, 6, it's just like it's frustrating.
Right.
It really is. And
no, sorry, I meant weight class. I meant in terms of losing weight. Do you have much struggle?
For flyweight, yeah, I would say this is at bantamweight, so it's not gonna be an issue.
Right.
And then
would you walk around that, or is it a secret?
You know what? Yeah,
it's a secret. Yeah. 84 kilos. Yeah. No, but so bantamweight's comfortable.
From 90 kilos is tough.
Yeah, it's tough. Man. Yeah, you have to take your shoes off even, don't you? Sometimes.
Sometimes I got to chop my leg off. I can put it back on.
Yeah.
But yeah, nah. Flyweight's tough. It's doable. Never missed it. Right. But it's tough. But it's better for me, of course.
Yeah. Going up the levels is better, right?
Yeah. There's going to be advantages, sure. But again, bantamweight, it's an easier cut. Yes, people are going to be bigger, but I'm not worried because I'm not not like very small for a flyweight anyways. Like, I'm a pretty good sized flyweight, hence why the cut's difficult. And then I feel strong anyways. Like, even when I spar with bantamweights and featherweights, I feel strong anyway, so I'm not too worried.
Do you feel like you're going to go up and be a full-time bantamweight at some point?
See how this goes.
See how this goes.
If the 2 fights go really well, then...
Are they both at bantamweight, I take it?
Yeah, they are. They are.
Cool.
And then we'll see. I'll still try and get fights at flyweight, and if they don't happen, then I might not have a choice.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, like you said, when you're waiting for fights, sometimes I guess you just got to take what comes, don't you?
But I think if I'm signed by an organisation, like especially if I end up in the UFC, of course, it's flyweight.
What's
for
if,
sure.
bro? We mean if. What is this if?
Oh,
You meant when, right? Come on, come on. Let's adjust your language around here.
When I get signed by the UFC, it's flyweight, 100%.
Oh, it is 100%. Yeah.
That's because I
interesting,
can make the weight.
Right, you can make the weight.
Yeah, and I've been doing it without a nutritionist.
Oh,
so imagine if I do have one, it should be more smooth.
Yeah, get yourself out to the PI.
Unless they tell me, look, you're not a flyweight, then I'll accept it. If the nutritionist says, you know what, you're not built to make flyweight like that, I'm like, fine, I'm a bantam then. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's interesting because I mean, you're at an age now, 27, where it's like you're probably not getting any bigger. Do you know what I mean? It can become harder to make weight as you get older, obviously.
That as well.
You're kind of the size you're going to be now, anyway.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? No growth spurts in the tank at this point.
Yeah, I don't think I can just lose weight either.
Yeah.
I am.
You are what you are, because like you touched on it there when you get to the UFC, like that's obviously the target, right? That's what you're looking at, and that's sort of full force towards that. Because and the reason I ask you is because a few people have had on from here, but also other places that are past the age of 30. Apparently, it's harder for sort of like to get a look in from the UFC, but you're not. So
The UFC, of course, when they're looking for people, they do look at your age. They'll be like, oh yeah, we're not looking for guys who are a bit older. Like you've seen Dana White literally say that on the Contender
Well, tip
series.
number 1 then is lie about your age, kids. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everyone's 25 until proven otherwise.
Literally, like after someone's had a good performance, and you're thinking, okay, so why did you bring him?
Right.
Like
it's a strange one. That.
If you're not looking to sign people's age, why did you bring him?
Yeah.
Unless he was meant to get a first round devastating KO, then you'd be like, okay, cool, we'll make exceptions. But yeah, it's weird logic.
It is strange, isn't it? Because age is... It's not one size fits all, is it? Some people start to get to sort of late 20s and you can see them dwindling. Whereas, like, look at Glover Teixeira as a great example. He was 42 when he won the belt. You know what I mean?
I would use Joel Romero as
better example. You're right. You done me. All right. You done me. You done me.
I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. Yeah. To be honest, at the young age of 45.
Did you see his fight in the? I think it's Dirty Boxing. It's called. When he stands there and for no apparent reason he just jumps in the air like a frog and lands and then goes and beats the guy up.
No, I didn't see that part, but again, this is just something that he does.
Well, he stands there, right? The bell goes.
He does
and he just jumps like up in the air, and you know when everyone's like that, and then he comes down and then gets on with the fight. But you know, like when he jumps for no reason, you're like,
he's a strange guy. As
unbelievable
well,
athlete, unbelievable. But he's it's a shame he didn't get the title in the UFC. I think because I think he beat Robert Whittaker the first time, personally.
No, I think the second one was. I think the first one was clear cut for Whittaker.
Really?
I think the second one was the one where he dropped him.
Was it the second one? I might be getting it mixed up, but one of them he definitely won, right?
Yeah, no, the first one, Robert
I might be getting it mixed up.
Wiped the floor with him.
Did he? Okay, I might be. Yeah, okay.
The second one, there was
because is that the one where? Oh no, it was Rockhold, right? He beat Rockhold when he missed weight, is what I meant.
Yes,
he missed weight, so he would have been champ. He would have got the belt.
Yeah.
But he missed weight by less than a pound or something stupid. Nothing.
I think it was like 0.1.
It was like nothing. It was stupid. Yeah, but he missed the weight. But he's like people that say that have been around him that like he's. I mean, how he ever made the weight anyway? He's like enormous, right? He's supposed to be like completely.
I guess if you're missing by a pound, that's a sign that maybe you shouldn't be in that weight class.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no fat to lose on him, is there? It's not like he could lose weight. Like he's leaner than this table. Do you know what I mean?
Literally.
But he was one of my favourites to watch. Like back in in that little run where I feel I was going to say he beat Whittaker. He didn't officially, but I felt like he did.
Yeah.
And then he kind of at a certain point, even if you're a freak like that. 45 is,
that's crazy.
It's starting to slow.
How old is he now? Is he like 47 or 8 or something?
I think he's 46 at least. I think he's got to be 46. I'm pretty sure I've seen like a tail of the tape with him being 46, but maybe someone can help us out. But he's, I think he's not fighting MMA at the moment, right? He's doing other things. He's doing like bare knuckles and whatnot. Yeah, good luck fighting in bare knuckle.
I mean, good luck finding him in anything.
Anything, yeah, it's true.
Grappling with him.
It's true, yeah. He did a grappling match with the UFC heavyweight, didn't he?
Yeah.
Chris Barnett, I think.
Yeah, Kimura him.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And he's... he's just a freak specimen, isn't he? Olympic silver medalist in year 2000, which that shows,
literally,
which is nuts, right? How old was you in year 2000?
2 years.
2 years old. So when you was 2, he was winning Olympic silvers. But that's a story for another day. Wild. As we sit here now, let's fast forward a little bit. You got a fight obviously at the weekend, so we'll call that now. You got another one before the end of the year, maybe 2. So let's just say, ideal world, you end up at the end of the year 5-0 as a pro. How far do you see yourself from the UFC then? At that point?
Oh yeah, I mean that's a good picture. 5-0 end of the year. Like, I mean, if I'm doing that, I think definitely I'm going to be in the UFC
in 2026.
The exact year, I don't know for sure. Obviously, that depends on my activity in 2026. But it's possible that I could get called on the Contender Series in 2026. It's very, very possible.
You're at the right gym for it, right? You got to be at the right gym for it.
100%. Yeah, I think 5-0 end of the year. I mean, why not? We fight in April, maybe 6.
Yeah.
I don't know, July, August, 7.
Right.
7-0. Obviously, preferably with some good finishes, knockouts. Then, yeah, I don't see why not.
So by the end of next year, I know it's a bit of a stretch, but it's not outside the realms of possibility that you could be 10-0, right? Really, by the end of 2026, right?
10 is possible.
I mean, it's a stretch. Don't get me wrong. You're probably more likely 8 or something, right? But like, it's not outside the realm. And at that point, it's like, it's time to go, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's time. Dana, put me in, coach.
You might not even need to get to 10-0 before getting called out. I think with 8 or something, and good performances, finishes, you know, some highlight reel finishes and stuff. Yeah, I think with 8-0, you should get called.
Especially at the weight class you are, right? Because it's a bit thinner. Like featherweight, there's not as many. Flyweight, sorry, flyweight. You fucking just told me that. Flyweight, I meant flyweight.
Or bantam.
Yeah, there you go. Or bantam, or one of the two. Featherweight, maybe down the road, we'll get to that. But no, flyweight, like, there's not as many, it's not as thick of a division, is it? Do you know what I mean? So I would imagine there's more possibilities there.
I think there are people, actually, I think more than before. Like, a few years ago, there wasn't a lot of flyweights. But now, I think there's actually quite a lot of flyweights worldwide, I think. Like, from amateurs here to pros here to worldwide in, like, Bahrain, UAE. There's a lot of very good flyweights. So I think now the competition's the best it's ever been.
Well, nowadays the amateur scene's popping, isn't it? Like before, like go back to when you started competing in martial arts. Like amateurs wasn't as big of a deal, was it? Like in terms of
when I started training, Whereas
now you got like IMAFs, all that kind of stuff. It's like it seems like every time you flick open Instagram, there's like loads of people fighting amateur fights.
Just like highlight reel from some amateur, literally.
Because like again, going back to like a boxing background, it's easy to get amateur boxing matches if you want to box, right? Because you go to your club, and if you've got any sort of ability and you get carded and you're ready to go, you can box a lot. Whereas like that hasn't historically been the case in MMA, is it? Now it seems a bit. I mean, you just said you struggled, but like we're still a bit on from that, aren't we? And now you're a pro, and it's off to the races. But if you is Dana White's Contender Series the sort of ideal scenario for you?
Oh yeah, perfect. Or just get signed straight away.
I was going to say, get signed straight away as well.
That would be better than having to deal with the Contender Series. But fuck it. If I get called on the Contender, that'll be a great honor.
Yeah,
that'll be great. And of course, I know what they look for in the Contender Series. Winning is not enough. Like, you got to excite Dana White, essentially.
Right. Have you got like a finishing move? You mentioned WWE earlier. Have you got like a choke slam that you want to show Dana or something?
Well, I have more MMA techniques.
You don't want to throw a choke slam at
bunch of maybe not the choke slams. Some submissions, of course, but a lot of stuff on the feet as well that can just
I got
the fight just like that.
I got you. So, if you got to the UFC, obviously, I'm assuming you're going to tell me you want to be UFC champion. I've spoke to people on here, and I've, not just in here, I mean on the podcast. Like, you speak to them and you ask them about it, and sometimes people say, well, a lot of people say, yeah, that's what they want, right? Yeah. But some people look at you and they go like, yeah, and you go like, you don't really believe it. Some people look at you into you and go, yeah, I'm gonna fucking
yeah.
Like, where do you? Is that what you? This is real for you?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Nothing else I do in life, really. I mean, I work in a restaurant. I enjoy my job, but of course, I wanna do something better than that in my life, and this is the best opportunity I could ever have. Obviously, the football didn't work out, but thank God for this. So I'm not gonna waste this opportunity. Yeah. So I wanna get as far as possible, and for me, get to the UFC, get the belt, defend it as many times as possible.
Wow.
Like, this is what I want. Of course, time will tell. Obviously, as you get to a certain age, maybe you're not going to be in your prime anymore. But if I get the belt, and if I'm still feeling good, keep defending it. Of course, if I get a bit older, then fuck it, whatever. Like, I'll end up on a decline. That's fine. But I got to the belt and defended it. That is my goal. Like, if I can get to the belt and defend it, then my life is complete.
Life's complete, literally. That's it. One or two belts, because we spoke about 2 divisions already.
Yeah. Like, obviously in the regional
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
I don't care, whatever.
4? Oh, wow.
Fuck it, whatever.
Taking on lightweights at this point, bro.
No, I mean like different promotions.
Yeah.
I mean like 2 weight classes, but different promotions.
Right.
Like just rack up
I
belts.
thought you meant 4 weight classes. I want to say, hey, man.
I think with the weight classes, bantamweight no more. That's it.
Really?
No,
Okay.
no higher than that.
No higher than that, okay. Because you're fairly tall for your weight, and how tall are you?
Like 5'6".
Oh, are you? Okay, I thought you
Yeah.
were taller than that. My bad. My bad. I gave him an extra couple of inches.
But yeah. Nah. So yeah, 2 weight classes,
Yeah.
rack up belts, fuck it. But in the UFC, strictly flyweight because you want all the advantages you can.
Right.
As a bantamweight, I can compete with these guys. Like the strength is not an issue, but then against flyweights, sometimes I feel like they're not in my weight class. Sometimes.
Really? You feel that
like
strong?
when obviously except for some guys in here like Delphi or someone like that, because his strength is ridiculous.
Right.
But yeah, except for people like that, like generally most people who weigh the same as me, they don't give me a match, like physically.
Yeah, right, yeah. It's a good place to be, isn't it? You don't want to give up that advantage if that's your game, innit?
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I've spoke to people as well, we won't mention names, but like it works the other way, whereas they actually feel better fighting at a higher weight because they feel like if they lose a little bit of weight and they go down to the next division down, they can make it, but they feel like a little bit less of
Depleted.
their self, so they can't put
Yeah.
their force on people, and they become sort of like, their words, not mine, a skinny version of their self in a lower division. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's
so
true,
there's pros and cons in it, and I think styles come into it, and we
Yeah,
could go on all day about that. But like, what's training look like for you, mate? Are you big on your S&C and all that business?
Here and then,
Right.
like not consistent with it.
Right.
I think I should. Like obviously, I use the physical gifts that God gave me already.
Right.
But I think with the more consistent S&C program,
Yeah.
then yeah, I think as
But
I
then it
start,
might be a time for bantamweight.
yeah. As I start fighting up a high level,
Yeah.
then I want to
Right.
stick to a good S&C. Like for now, I do a lot of cardio. Like cardio, that's non-negotiable. Like you gotta have cardio.
What's cardio look like for you? We're talking running.
I've stopped with the running now just because I've had issues with knees in the past.
Right.
But it doesn't affect my training or fighting. It's just when I actually go for a run outside, like afterwards, like after maybe 10, 15 minutes, I just start to feel something flare up.
It's not worth it then at that point, right?
So I use bikes instead, rowing, skiing.
But traditional
that
style
kind of
cardio
stuff.
we're
Yeah.
talking.
So that works for me. I know it's results on the machines and then in sparring. Like I feel better in sparring. And then in fights, never had issues with my cardio, except for one fight years ago in my amateurs.
But you won it anyway, so we're all right.
Yeah.
We got through it. I know he won it because he's undefeated.
Yeah.
1 + 1 = 2.
Literally, that was I won, but I learned the lesson. I was like, yeah, you need to.
It's a good time to learn a lesson though, right? Because there's the old saying, isn't there? You win or learn or whatever the thing is.
I was able to get both.
Right, exactly. If you can learn while
able-
you win instead, that's got to be better,
Perfect,
innit? You know what I
perfect.
mean?
Yeah.
But like with you,
I
mean,
treat it like a loss, though.
you treat it like that's a good. I think it's a good mindset though, isn't it? Because you can fall in love with yourself and think, well, I don't need to train because I won. And people do, man. As mad as that sounds,
my eyes were open. It was a reality check. Like, I got my hand raised. I was like, mate, we need to pull our socks up, mate. This will not stand going forward.
I hear that.
Like, yeah.
I hear that. But how often do you train? Like, because again, on the face of it, most people, when you ask that twice a day, 6 days a week, is kind of a standard, right? But certain people only train once. Some people train like, they give you I train 6 times a day, and you look at them, you go, what are you doing 6 times a day? But do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's all different, like, two.
It varies.
Right.
Like, obviously, depends how busy I'm with work as well that week. But generally, I try to get in 5 to 6 days of training.
Okay.
Essentially. Like, I'll train, do a session, and then do extra training afterwards.
Right.
And then that's that day, and then back again tomorrow.
Do you like to do a lot of training by yourself in terms of like on the bags and things,
Actually,
so you can get in your head?
Literally, actually. Like, I do bags by myself, and then I'll use the weights, like for cardio, or not the weights, the machines, sorry, for cardio, bikes and stuff like that. And then sometimes at home, I'll literally just shadow box for a good half an hour, just shadow box. If I've got an opponent, I'm really visualizing him, thinking, all right, I'm gonna do this. This is how I'm gonna knock him out. This is how I'm gonna defend his best attacks. This and that. Like just at home, just shadow boxing. So yeah, like independent training for me is something I do a lot of, and I enjoy it actually.
I think there's something to that, isn't it? Just being in your own head and sort of like trusting yourself
Literally,
a little bit.
yeah.
Because one thing I notice as well, like some people, and not that it's wrong because it works for a lot of people, but some people sort of, I'm trying to word this right so I get my point across. They overly rely on coaches in terms of every single thing the coach says. If they step out of that at all, they don't have confidence in themselves. Do you see what I mean? Whereas I feel like there's an element of like people need to, obviously, of course, you listen to your coaches. If you've got good coaches, if you've got dumb coaches, you don't, right? But especially at a gym like this, like you could pretty much guarantee every coach that's coaching here is going to give you good advice anyway, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do think there's an element of you got to trust yourself, right?
Yeah, 100%. But again, obviously, you want to be independent, but having coaches like just cornering you, even if you're sparring someone, they give you a little tip. That's a big boost that gives you.
Right.
I've had rounds where I'm sparring someone, it's back and forth, not much is happening, and then the coach just shouts something and then kill that person right away. And I'm like, wait, why didn't I just do that the whole time?
Yeah.
I just needed the coach to just whisper something in my ear or something.
Yeah. But that's the sign of a good coach. They tell you the obvious, don't they? They don't give you like, jab to the left, move to the right, throw the head kick. Move.
It will be something I already know.
Right.
And they know I know, but they're like, hey, why don't you just do this like you normally do? They're like, oh, thanks, why didn't I think of that? So yeah, I think that's a very underrated advantage of having someone in your corner. Yeah. They don't have to tell you something complicated or explain something you've never done before. It could just be like, throw your leg kicks. Yeah. And then you just start smashing leg kicks all of a sudden. Like, why wasn't I doing that? It could just be, let's stick on that jab, shall we? And then you start jabbing. Right. It's simple
advice that you can translate in the moment, isn't it? Like,
simple stuff.
Because again, I've said this on here before, but you go sometimes to fight shows and there's people warming up. And the coach is going, 1, 2, move to the left, roll. They're like giving them a whole session before they're about to go out and fight. You look at me and you go, hey, coach, I think it was a bit late for that. I think that shit might sell. Maybe we should have done that in training camp.
Yeah, it's just simple. It's just your main techniques, the stuff that they know you're good at. Just drill that because that's what you're going to do in the fight and stuff like that.
How often do you spar, like when you've got a fight coming up?
Well, I spar a lot, even out of camp, like 2 times a week.
Right,
I would say.
MMA sparring, we're talking. It's like full on.
Full MMA sparring. Sometimes I'll do an extra day of like kickboxing sparring. Right. But two MMA sparring a week. Yeah,
I think because again there was a bit of a trendy sort of vibe a few years ago where people are saying you don't need to spar anymore, which I think is like, do you know what I mean? Like people saying it, wouldn't they? Like, of course you need to spar. To me, like it's the most crazy thing I've ever heard.
Unless you're like UFC like champion level.
But even if you are, you still need to spar, right? You've got to stay sharp.
You can get away with it because especially if you've had like 30 plus fights, whatever.
You might have to slow down because to look after yourself. Yeah,
that as well, and like you've seen everything. Like you're not going to change too much. You just have to stay sharp.
But skills are perishable, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Like if me and you train every day and we're the same level exactly, I take 3 weeks off. You carry on. We go for another 4 weeks, then I take another 3 weeks off. Over the course of a year, you're going to be out of sight from me.
Yeah. I think it's less so when you're both already up there. If that makes sense. Yeah. Like as long as you're drilling, as long as you're doing technique, you're just flowing, whatever. You don't have to have hard spars. Like once you're at that level, I think it was Max Holloway. I think he was like, he stopped sparring. Which makes sense for someone like him. Yeah. Like I can't do that because I only have 2 pro fights. I need to keep sparring.
But it works the other way as well. Robbie Lawler, I think, was famous for saying he stopped sparring, but then he started again, and that's when he went on his run and won the UFC title. So,
okay, fair enough.
Do you know what I mean? It's I think
it maybe affects different people differently.
Do you know what I think as well? I think you're right. It does affect different people different ways, but I think a lot of it comes down to your belief system.
That as well.
Like if you believe in what you're doing, it's easy to get good. I think, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Whereas like we all know people that are very talented that go on mats or in rings or whatever they're doing, and they start training, and they're not sure of themselves, and you can see a bit of an opportunity. And like, I can get this motherfucker today. Whereas he's like, really, he's better than he knows he is. Do you see where I'm coming from?
No. The mental side of fighting is big. Yeah. Actually, because you can have all the skills, you can have all the physical gifts, but if you're not in the right place there, then you won't perform.
That's it, mate. That's it. Hey, do you train year round? I take it by the sound of what you're saying.
Yeah.
You don't take 3 months off here and there.
No, never. Like, of course, if I'm injured, I
that's
have
different,
to.
Right? Yeah.
But even when I'm injured, I try to come back as soon as I can. Yeah. I try to do something as soon as, like, if I injure one arm, if I can use the other one just to practice my jab or something, I'll do that. Right. If I injure my foot, I'll still come sparring, just won't kick with it, stuff like that. But obviously, if it's a bad injury and I can't move around, I have to stay home.
Stay at home.
Generally, I train all year round.
Yeah, I think you got to this day and age, haven't you? Them days of like taking time off. I think unless you're again at top level and you've got millions in the bank and you can sort of sit down for a month here and there, it's a bit different, isn't it? But I think you should be ultimately. But mate, listen, I appreciate your time. This has been brilliant.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, especially because you've got to fight in 3 days from as we're sat here.
Literally.
Cool as a cucumber. But before we finish off, mate, most important question. You've mentioned football, so you're going to have an answer. I know you are. It better be the right answer. Which football team do you support?
Chelsea.
Ah, my guy, top
Chelsea
man,
as well.
perfect.
Oh,
Yes, exactly. That is
sweet.
the correct answer.
Sweet.
Now I want you to win on Saturday. How about that?
Champions of Europe.
Champions of the world, man. Champions of the world. Hands up like this to finish off. Always finish with the fists up. Squeeze the neck. Boom.